Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are watching this. And in today's episode, probably over my shoulder here, I have a gentleman called Kevin from Gentleman's Motor Racing Team. This is an absolute privilege, sir, to have you on the channel.
Brilliant, thank you very much. No, the privilege is all mine. Give me a virtual elbow bump to the camera.
There we go, because we're all making sure we're not getting involved in the coronavirus here. So, as you can see, the backdrop is again my kitchen, because Tony still won't let me in his garage. I don't know what I've done. I think I farted in there. I think he's got upset with me. So, I think that's what's gone on there. So, again, I have got Kevin on in my ear. But that sounds a bit weird. I've got Kevin talking to me in my ear. So, we're going to do the interview this way, and then we're going to use all the magic of editing, and we're going to put us together. So, let's start. Are you ready, Kevin?
I am ready.
Brilliant. So, let's get this one straight out of the way. You've bought a Mini, and it needs no rust repair, obviously. You can't say wheels. What's the first modification that you're going for?
Tyres.
Ah, good shout.
Yeah.
Is there a particular brand?
Pretty much anything Yokohama kind of works. But yeah, everybody that I meet go, what's the best upgrade, performance wise? What's the best thing that you can do for your car? And like, hands down, it's tyres, because tyres is everything. Performance is irrelevant unless you've got good tyres.
I agree. It's contact patch with the road, and that's what you need.
Yeah, and also new tyres, definitely. You'll be amazed the degradation of old tyres. Once they start getting hard and old, the performance just drops.
Perfect. No, that's a perfect answer. So, question number 2. This may show a bit more of your character, because I don't know the answer to this. What is your dream 3-car garage?
Right. I've had sleepless nights about this, because I know you've been asking people about it in the past. And I genuinely don't know. And the one thing there's a couple of questions I have to ask before I can answer that question. Is this like the only 3 cars I'm allowed to have?
That is a good return question. No, let's call it play cars. Let's call it play cars.
Okay, because otherwise I can't answer it, because you need a daily driver, and I need something to tow the race cars with and things like that. Oh blimey!
So let's assume that you've got your trailer, you've got your pickup truck for Americans and coal. Let's assume you've got them. So now we're talking the cars that either you're on a weekend or you're going to the track with.
Okay, I'm going to do it in reverse order. So of what I was originally planning. So it has to be a Mini in there, and for me, I want it to be my Mark 1 Mini, the one that I've already got. I've had that since I've had it since I've been in my 20s. But I would really like it to be in the style of the 60s independent rallyists. So nothing. I don't want a Cooper S or anything like that. I'm quite happy, or I'd like, an 850 Magic Wand gearbox, but in the style of what the guys used to rally back in the day, while the pros were racing the Cooper or rallying the Cooper S's. The normal Joes like me and you can't afford that, so we just modify our normal cars. So that one definitely.
Proper spannering. I like that. Proper spannering.
Yeah.
So i.e. getting the best out of it with what little tools and money you have. Love that. What's your second car, Kev?
A modern Dodge Charger RT.
Okay, that surprises me. That really does surprise me. What's your reason for one of them?
Because it'll be modern, it'll be reliable. It's it's V8 obviously, and it's one of those things. I think if it's a classic, I'd be worried about it. I'd be going, oh no, don't want track days and all that sort of stuff. But it's a modern car. I don't care. I'll just go and use and abuse it and have a massive grin on my face the whole time.
Perfect. And third car in the garage?
A Tesla Cybertruck.
Oh, what an answer! What an answer! For what reason? For what? I know. I know the. I think I know the reason. But come on, what is the reason?
I am a fan of electric cars, and I really can't wait for it to kick off big style. But when they unveiled that car, that is, in every 80s science fiction film when I was growing up, if they said, show me what a 4x4 is going to look like in 2020, that is exactly it. It's so bonkers. I can imagine myself with my mullet on and my Mad Max outfit, just cruising around causing carnage in it. I think it's a brilliant bit of kit.
I tell you what, that sounds like an absolute superb free car garage. Well done. Question number 3. So we've touched on the racing and rallying a bit, which is obviously a big part of your channel. This is a 2-part question, but I've sneaked in as a 1. What's your greatest achievement in racing or rallying, and what's your biggest disappointment?
Oh my goodness. I think my greatest achievement is making the step into motorsport itself, because for years and years I've looked at motorsport and gone, yeah, it's obviously just for the elite or people that have got fast cars or people that know how to drive, and I've just put it off and put it off and put it off. And then when you actually delve into the whole motorsport group, you realise it's just a bunch of nice people that want to get out and have fun doing the motorsport of their choice. It's not about winning. It's not about having the fastest car. Obviously, it is for some people. But I think that's my biggest achievement is making that step, which the whole idea of my channel is to encourage people to make that step themselves.
Wow. I think you're right there, especially there is such a camaraderie in the pits. I mean, I remember my first track day with my Puma, and we had the cheapest car there. People coming up to us and going, they're so cool, these things. And it's like, yeah, it was 500 quid and we don't care. And I tell you what, there was a full-on race team there that had a Renault Clio, and they were almost going home because they didn't have a bolt. And they came round and asked us, they were next to us, and they asked us, we don't suppose you've got I think it was an M8 or something like that. It was something random anyway. And I went, there's a box of bolts there, mate, have a go. And I tell you what, if I'd have taken £1,000 off him, he'd have given me it. That's how much he wanted. He was so happy that I'd given him this bolt, and it's like, do you know what? It's just the camaraderie. The amount of times that people come to you and go, it's a quick car that, especially with the Fiesta. It's a quick car that, and it's like, we was having a bit of fun in the twisties there, and it's such a camaraderie, because you do get your elite people. Sometimes there is that they are there, but I've experienced majority of them are just nice guys that are out just for a laugh. I think that's the main thing.
Definitely.
Following on then, obviously there was a 2-part. I don't want to upset you. I'm going too personal, but what's your biggest disappointment, really? Have you got one?
No, I haven't. One of the biggest. Well, no, hang on. One of the disappointments that turned it on its head was I had an auto grass mini, which we were going to race for auto crossing. So I spent all summer making it, to meet the regulations to do the event. And during testing, the engine spat its dummy, and I went, oh well, never mind. I'll take the engine out of my my auto test mini, which is a really nice engine. Stuck it in the mini, and halfway through the event, it went lean, and basically I killed that. And that was depressing, a big disappointment. But the other side of it was my dad, who's part of our team. He was driving our red standard MX-5, Mark 1 pop-up headlights. And so obviously we went and we changed the paperwork so that I could race that car. And it turned out to be the most enjoyable weekend ever, just thrashing a standard car around a track. And it just proved to me that, please don't spend massive amounts of money on motorsport. Just get out there and enjoy it.
Perfect, because that leads straight into my next question, and that is, what advice would you give for someone looking to start out in racing or rallying or any motorsport that you've known? What's your first bit of advice for people?
First bit of advice is genuinely nobody gives a toss about how well you do when you're competing, because I've been in that position, and I talk to lads or anybody and say, "Oh, come and have a go at motorsport. It'd be great." And they're always thinking in their back of their head, "Yeah, but you lot will be watching me, and I'll be rubbish or whatever." And it is motorsport. Oh no, I'm going to change my answer. The trick with motorsport is it's not about how fast you go. It's choosing when to go slow. All right, that is the crux of motorsport, because you can tell anyone to sit in a car, put their foot on the accelerator all the way to the floor, and that car will go as quick as it will go. There's no skill.
Yes.
There's no skill in that whatsoever. However, when you come up to a bend or anything, or a cone or something, it's knowing when to slow down. Because if you slow down too early, you won't be very fast. But if you just slow down too late, you'll scrub up. You'll lose loads and loads of speed, because the route you'll take will be rubbish, or you'll understeer or whatever. So my advice is, don't think about going fast. Think about when is the right time to go slow.
Well, that's almost like clean lines, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
I feel that's like clean lines. I remember years and years and years ago, the Fiesta that I drive now. This is why I love the Fiesta so much. My friend had it, and we took it to Silverstone on a Ford fair, which was a big Ford meet back in the day. And you get a certain amount of track time. And we lined up in the paddock. And I looked around, and it was Cosworth. Look behind my shoulder, Cosworth. I was like, to my best mate Johnson, I went, "Johnson, we're surrounded by Cosworths at 500 brake horsepower, and we're in a Fiesta." He went, "No." And I tell you what, right? Every single Cosworth absolutely obliterated us on the straights. But when we came to the corner, we did five Cosworths in one corner, and it was just such a laugh. And you're right. Anybody can go fast in a straight line. It's all about how the car, or you, feel with the car.
It's psychological. It is very psychological, and it's calming yourself down and knowing when to go slow.
Perfect. What an answer. This leads on to another one. Do you believe there is such a thing as budget racing anymore?
Definitely. I am literally about to. Well, the whole idea of my channel is to prove to people that you can take part in motorsport for a lot less than you think. On the Isle of Wight, where I'm based, there's the Isle of Wight Car Club, and we run most of the time forward-only auto tests. So what you do is you find a great big car park, whether it be a council car park, or we do off-road ones as well, which in farmers' fields, and you lay out a load of cones. And the idea is you drive around those cones. It's fairly quick, but it's not ridiculously quick. So you've got to remember the course and go round, and you get 6 attempts, and your fastest time of the day goes into the list, and it's the fastest person of the day wins. But there's a winner for each class. So there's like cars under 40, standard cars under 1400 cc, modified cars over 1400 cc. There's all sorts of classes, and that is 20 quid for a complete day's of motorsport.
And you know what? Then it does exist. Fair play to you, because I wasn't so sure that budget motorsport exists. But that sounds fair. Hold on a minute, Kev. I think we've got a battery issue with our camera. If you bear with me a second.
That's all right.
Just bear with me. So sorry about that there, ladies and gentlemen. We had a technical issue. I'm blaming my cameraman on the other side there that forgot to charge the battery on his camera. So we've had to change cameras. So I'm putting all the blame on Mr. Pete. So you did answer that question, I think, about the budget racing, which was a superb answer again. Thank you, Kev. So
it is, but however, can I just say that you don't actually have to be racing behind the wheel to get involved in motorsport. There are many other ways. I mean, you can marshal. You can get involved in the pits with a crew, and that's exactly how I managed to sit in the seat of a rally car. It was basically I was going out helping my mates as service crew, and then eventually, a navigator seat came available, and so I jumped at it. So you don't have to be behind the wheel.
Perfect. Well, and then opportunities arise from that, don't they? Yeah. So that's that. Yeah. Perfect. Question number 6. I'm asking everybody this, so you'll probably have heard this one. What is the hardest job you've ever had to do in a vehicle? Could be mini, could be non-mini related.
Anything to do with an
Yes.
engine. I despise working on engines. You know, I'm a trained mechanic. I did it when I left school. But for some reason, I get no enjoyment whatsoever working on
Really?
engines. And yeah. I enjoy cars. I enjoy the noise of it. You know, I enjoy driving a car and everything else. But yeah, the setting up and the tuning and I'm just not interested whatsoever. I can't wait for electric cars to kick in.
That surprises me so much. I'm a massive nut and bolt man. Me, give me nuts and bolts and an engine, and I'll play away. But yeah, that surprises me, Kev. Well, there you go. Learn something new on.
Yeah, yes, bodywork, suspension, anything like that, I really enjoy. But yeah, I've lost my love for working on engines.
Question number 7. Any other hobbies other than cars?
Yeah, I'm into my long distance running.
Fair play. Yeah, I've seen a couple of them posts up. Yeah. So, and
Yeah, so
oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, no. So yeah, I've done. You know, I do my marathons and you know, Ironman triathlon. I've done one of those, and I try and run a half a marathon at least once a week. In fact, I did one this morning. So.
Fair play, mate. Fair play, because that's not me. Right, this is a YouTube channel that we had on YouTube, so we can't get away from some of these YouTube questions. So let's start. What made you start a YouTube channel? I think you've answered this in a couple of questions anyway, but let's focus on it. What made you start a YouTube channel?
Originally, I've always been interested in film and how film's been made and things like that. And I'm kind of slightly sort of artistic. I like painting and things like that. And until YouTube really kicked off and the availability of cheap cameras like this, it did seem sort of out of my realm. So but now with digital film, it's the same as cameras. Actual proper photography was quite expensive, but now video is just dirt cheap.
They're on your phone now. And
yeah, and so yeah, that's the thing. I kind of it's just started off me just wanting to make film.
Fair play. That's a perfect answer. And second to last question. What advice would you give to someone maybe starting a YouTube channel or thinking, if they watch a couple of our channels or something like that? What advice would you give to them?
I'd have to say you'd have to be passionate about the thing that you're making. So for us, it's cars and minis and whatever. So if you're passionate about it, people will enjoy watching you be passionate about it.
It comes across, doesn't it? It really comes across. If you enjoy what you're doing, that comes across. I think as in the video, yeah.
And the other thing is it is film, so yeah, you can just point your phone at yourself or whatever, and it's really so you've got to be into it. You've either got to be into filming or you've got to be into the content. But if you're into both, you're on a winner.
Super. And last question again. It is the theme of these interviews. I won't say what can we expect in 2020 because we are moving fastly through 2020. What can we expect coming up over the next few months, say, on your channel?
Well, we are. And the thing is, the original plan before the whole incident with Corona sort of kicked in is I really just want to try more and more different types of motorsport. But of course, motorsport's kind of been banned in this country for we don't know how long now. So that's kind of stuck a nail in it. However, I do have plenty of projects coming up. So I've got to finish the Rally Mini. That's a definite. Once the Rally Mini is in paint, Bernie, the 1275 GT's coming back. So hopefully that'll be this year. And the one motorsport that I really want to see if I can get done this year is drag racing, because I've never been drag racing before.
Right, well, I've done drag racing. I've only run what you've run. Don't get me wrong, I'm no professional drag racer, but I've done drag racing, and I know it's a straight line, and we spoke about it earlier that there's not much skill, but gearing and reaction times, they mean a lot, and it is the thrill all gone in in however long your car takes to get down the track. You know, I did it in a Vauxhall Nova 2 litre 8 valve, and I did it in 15.6, and people go, oh, what do you do, push up?
Ooh,
Well,
that's not bad.
Car guys know that's not a bad time, but non-car guys go, what do you do, push it over? It's like, go get your Ford Focus Estate and you go dry it and see what time you come up with. So, you know, it is a thrill. It is a thrill, but it's over very quickly. That's one thing I will say.
Yeah, the nearest I've got to it is Brighton Speed Trials. I did that back in 2015, and I did it in the Mark 1 Mini, and that's, you know, so, and I was doing 16s in that, and not until you realise when you're doing it, you go, oh my goodness, this is actually really technical. You know, your reaction line, not wheel spinning, getting every gear change just right. As soon as you go over the finish line, you go, oh, I need to do it again because I could do that better.
You do feel it. You do feel it.
So I'm keen to actually have a go at proper drag racing.
You do feel it because it's one of them. Just again, expanding on that, when I was going across the line the first couple of times, my times were a bit higher. And I spoke to a guy who's done it quite a few times. He said, "What gear are you going over the line?" I said, "I'm just changing to fourth." He said, "No, hold on to third." He said, "Even if you're at the limiter just past the line, so just hold on to third, just keep going." He said, "Because that you changing the gear is losing the momentum." He said, "So and that's why I got 15.6 consistently after that." So I was happy. And then obviously every year I go to watch the Top Fuel Dragsters. Hopefully it's going to be on again this year. Yeah.
Do you?
And I tell you what, for anybody, motorsport or not motorsport fan, go watch Top Fuel Dragsters. These guys are doing it in 3 seconds, and the smell, the noise, the atmosphere, it's absolutely out of this world. It really is, and I would suggest to anybody to go watch that or be a part of that, and then tell me you don't like drag racing. So,
yeah, the vehicle. I've got the vehicle that we want to do it in. We've got it. It's very unique. It's 1970s, and it used to. They used to drag race it in the 70s, but I guarantee it's not what anybody expects us to do.
I agree. Will we see that? Will we see that particular car this year?
I hope so. I really do hope so. If the stars align and there's no drastic setbacks on the Rally Mini, we will see it this year.
Absolutely superb. Listen, Kevin, I think we've gone well over our 10 minutes ish on this one, but
we have.
Who cares? Who cares? This has been an absolute joy, and I've been waiting for this interview. Listen, thank you so much for taking the time out. Thank you for the honesty and in your answers, and I've really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for that.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I think we'll leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.